Hey folks, welcome to my video. I am Secondaries Enthusiast and today we will be taking a look at the Tier 9 Premium Heavy Cruiser USS Tulsa, obtainable by coal. So she has been in the coal section within the army for a while now, and before she had quite a reputation of being very mediocre due to her limited number of guns being 6 and they were mounted on twin turrets, which leads to some pretty wonky dispersion situations given how twin turrets on cruisers behave. So because of this, it makes her more inconsistent in dealing damage compared to the Des Moines class, a tier higher with 9 guns, but however, she also received some buffs recently with her main guns, so now she will have Destroyer Dispersion, which is a huge increase in accuracy, and yeah, hopefully this will make her become a much more consistent damage dealer. So to see how the buffs affected her, I will be taking her into battle and see how she feels, and in the end, I will give you guys my final opinions, as well as some existing problems that I think she still have currently and yeah, needs to be addressed in the future. So before I take her into battles, I will show you guys my commander build. It's very basic for US heavy cruisers, but instead of priority target, I took consumable enhancements. I want to boost my utility action time, so it helps with my hydro and my radar duration. And I don't have a full commander right now, but if I do, I would just take also the top grade gunner because it helps her main battery reload time when she's spotted. And yeah, as for my equipment, I also built on the gun reload too, so just purely maximizing her damage per minute. Some people liked to take the firing range, increasing her firing range, because I mean her firing range is pretty short, 14.9 only, which is even less than like the Jinan that I featured a video before. But in my opinion, her concealment is excellent, and yeah, I would like to make her a very strong cap contester. So when I get close to a cap, I turn on the radar and I can utilize my damage per minute and just melt down their destroyers. And the other ones are pretty basic too. And well, I'll just buy one of the flags, and yeah, these are the flags I have. And please don't use the FAA. I mean, she has pretty decent AA already, but for utility, Hydro is always best. So yeah, see you guys in battle. Okay, so let's see. In this game, we have well three destroyers, so I can help my destroyers contest the caps with them, and I think we only have. Well, okay, let's see. Oh yeah, it's so we're full down tier. So we're full down tier. That's good for us. We don't have to actually meet tier 10 ships. And in my opinion, in situations like this, the Tulsa with its very high damage output, it can do very well against like tier 7 ships, but it might struggle a bit more when you're facing more tier 10s because of their extended range, and you only have 14.9 range for my spec for my build, then it's a lot harder to fight tier 10 ships. But yeah, if you face tier 9 or lower, I think the Tulsa can be played very comfortably. But yeah, let's see how the the buffed guns feel. Since this is not this is not domination, it's arms race, so there's not there's no cast for me to find and find an island and stay near to use my radar, but I can still follow the kid a bit closely and yeah, help him with the contesting other destroyers around this area. So I'll try and do that and utilize this island also if I can. Yeah, one problem with Tulsa is that um, in terms of her armor layout, she's very similar to her tier 10 counterparts, so like the Des Moines. But instead of getting 30 millimeters of plating at the the center, she's just basically covered in 27 millimeters, so she can only bounce 380 millimeter guns compared to like the Des Moines, with the Salem, yes, the Salem, they can bounce like 457 millimeters, But yeah, the Tulsa can get overmatched very easily, and so I think that's one problem that I find with her. So even if the guns are still buffed, she's still a very fragile. So she's just basically a glass cannon. Okay, so our kid is just staying here, so I don't think we'll have to help him much. Just move nearer to those item chain, and I think I can use them better. But looks like they're pushing. More ships are going to be focused on that area compared to our flank. Okay, I am actually detected, so I'll just wait a few more seconds and I will pop my radar. And there's the black. Yeah, in my opinion, she's a very good DD DD hunter. I mean, I won't get like a lot of shots on her, but I think this should be good enough already. And I think I should. Yep, I am dark. Hopefully I can turn out without getting smacked. Okay, thank God. And her AP is very potent too. But so far, yeah, like I can see that the guns is a lot more consistent, and yeah, it's more enjoyable to play compared to before. Like sometimes your shots just go everywhere, and it's not as fun. Like sometimes, and I was just aiming at the other ship's belt, and it just goes all over the place. Yeah, it wasn't a fun experience, but now, like I hit all 6 of my shells in that case, so it feels like it's really good. That's a 12,000 salvo. So yeah, she does feel like a lot more consistent now. Okay, and then there's our Duke of York. We should be fine with the Duke of York. It cannot overmatch us, and I think the Riga is poking out, so I have to angle against him. He also does have a bit of... Yeah, that was correct. I was correct. But yes, like the gun feels a lot more consistent. So that's a very nice thing. Yeah, I don't think I can do that. But so far so good in my opinion. I can feel like the shells are a lot more consistent, and it really does help with the damage output of the Tulsa. And let's see if like I think the Duke of York is pushing through. I think at this range I can actually Citadel the guy, so but yeah, we'll see. Okay, nope, never mind. I was wrong. But I can farm him with the upper belt, which I can still deal a ton of damage to him. Yep. That's really nice. Okay, the black is around. We have to be careful with black. And they are having a very strong push from this flank too, so I also have to be wary about that. But I think our team is running away, so if they push here, I'll try and use this island to shoot a bit safely. But I just heal up preemptively. But yeah, so far I'm pretty happy with the performance of the ship. Hmm. Okay, I'll just deal with the Alabama a bit. Also have to be mindful that the guy just also completely overmatches me. Okay, that's a double fire. Oh, that's unfortunate, but yeah, my team should hopefully be able to relight a fire on him. And I think our kid, well, I'm not sure if our kid can actually deal with the guy, but let's hope he can. But I'll just turn to make sure I wasn't actually paying attention, so I'm not sure if like the black has smoke, and yeah, if he radars, and that's a very big problem for our kid. So I'll just deal with that first. Yep, I'll just come, deal with him, and we can... Okay, we have a very large buff lead, so that's good. But yeah, I'll help our kid deal with the black, and then we can turn back and yeah, basically just farm them, the other ships down. But we should be fine. Okay. There he is. But yeah, like the guns are a lot more consistent now that we have destroyed dispersion. I can confidently like know that my shots will land. So like that's how good it feels right now.
Affirmative. Well done, Commander.
Yeah, I think our kid did also pretty well. Yeah, let's come and help with our ships, right? If we get the cap, I think we win. I think like some of them are very missed their position. It's hard for them to get back into the battle. Like if I'm here now and I can just hold them out, they won't be able to push. But I think they'll need my radar to get the Kagero and also the submarine if it's surfaced. But yeah, so far like I'm very satisfied with the yeah, I'm very satisfied with the buff with the guns. It feels very yeah, it feels a lot more consistent. So that's a very good thing. But yeah, she does also. But yeah, like for now, she still have a pretty big problem compared to like her Des Moines brothers, the Des Moines class brothers, because yeah, she's not covered in yeah grade of armor layout. Even though the armor layout is similar, their plating is worse, and that is still a problem. Okay, I'll turn and then just use this island for cover from the other ships that's coming from this flank. I'll just farm the guy down now. But yeah, like the uh-oh. Okay, I'll have to yeah, reverse a bit to get this guy. Okay, now that the Colorado actually overmatches me, but I think he's too preoccupied right now. Where is he? I'm not sure, but I'll try and help my Ashitaka. Yeah, I think this is angled enough. His guns, even though he's tier 7, but that's actually scary to me because yeah, he overmatches everywhere. You guys can see, like, I'm angled and I just took a 7,000 salvo. So that's not great. That's like the still like, that's a like, problem that's still existing for the Tulsa. Even though like the guns are a lot better now, uh, like the survivability still feels pretty bad because of this. And I'll show you guys the armor layout later and talk about this problem. Okay, he has some fire. I'll use my AP shells. Okay, I'll push in. That's actually bad. I'll push inside the island to get away from the Los Andes. Hopefully in time. Yeah, that should be good. But you guys can see, like, taking that fight already took half of my health. Like the survivability against like 4 or 6 and above is just horrendous with the Tulsa. But yeah, like for the guns, it feels really great with the consistency buff right now. With the with destroy dispersion, the guns feel way more consistent. And yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with this game. I think I played pretty well, but of course, if there are any misplays, you guys can tell me. But yeah, I'm fairly happy with the ship, how it performs. But yeah, it still have that one major problem that still needs to be yeah talked about. And hello, Dalian. Also, US heavy AP shells is just incredible to play, to use. Like you guys can see, this is just incredible to use. And I got Kraken. That was an incredible match. Damn. But yeah, from what you guys have seen, I think the buff really helped her in terms of her consistency. I don't think I would be able to land this many citadels like from a further range. If she still have the cruiser dispersion back then with the dual turrets, it would feel way more inconsistent, and yeah, most of the shots would land pretty weirdly. But yeah, with the destroyer dispersion now that she's been given, the shells lands more tightly. That's obvious, but yes, it feels a lot better to use the guns. And yes, you guys can see I'm on top of the board. I got Kraken, and yeah, Confederate, Dreadnought, and High Caliber. So I think I performed pretty well. 189,000 damage, 232 shell hits, and yes, like with the American heavy cruiser guns, with the autoloader, they can pump out a huge amount of damage if their shell lands. And yeah, the dispersion buff really helps the Tulsa with that. So, in my opinion, even though Tulsa has a lower damage per minute compared to the Buffalo, but yeah, the Buffalo does not have an autoloader, so this feels way better to use. And also like the damage per minute difference is not that great. And yeah, with this buff, I think like for the true damage per minute, so like accounting the accuracy that the Tulsa has, so she has destroyer accuracy compared to the Buffalo, which has cruiser dispersion. Uh, yeah, I think their damage output should be on par with each other, and in my opinion, the Tulsa feels way better to use compared to the Buffalo because of like the gun angles and yeah, obviously because of the autoloader of the Des Moines class. And yeah, here's the detail report. Yes, I basically farmed Colorado down, and I feel bad for the guy. And yes, with the Riga before, I shot only AP shells with 27. I already did 48,000. And yeah, I think I was yeah, it was nice. I think uh helping our helping our kid with the black made it a lot easier for our team because if the black is still there, then the kid would still be dispersed and yeah, and if the black in the side the smoke has his radar up, then it would also he can kill the kid easily with his DPM and yeah, but I think overall, I think I did pretty well this match, but again, uh, I took 17 AP shells, and that took 38,000 of my hit points. And here you guys can see the Colorado with even though it's a tier 7 again, by the way, but because it has 406 millimeter and it just basically overmatches me everywhere and deal a ton of damage to me. So that's one problem with the Tulsa, and yeah, I will show you guys later. But yes, that is the match, and see you guys in my final opinions. So yeah, welcome back. So for my final opinions about the Tulsa, the buff really does help in terms of like the gun consistency and yeah how it basically just feels shooting guns. Like I don't know how to describe it, but I feel way more confident in the guns now, and yeah I'm pretty sure like it has like a mental effect like you became much more confident to take the engagements and also yeah like take the DD fights even though like they're very maneuverable, but if you aim right you just know that your shells are going to land. But of course if you aim well with the better dispersion, if you aim your shells badly then it's gonna show. But yes, the gun feel a lot better compared to back then when she still have cruiser dispersion on these dual turrets. And like yeah, like imagine like when you're sitting in front, you have four guns shooting only, and then with cruiser dispersion, it looks sometimes very wonky and it feels bad to use. But now like you can see that how tight the shells group, and yeah, it's just an overall enjoyable experience when you're shooting Tulsa's guns now. And however, like I said before, she does have a very big problem compared to her similar counterpart, which is the Des Moines class. And you guys can see for her armor layout, ex I think it's yeah exactly identical. Well, she has a smaller hull compared to the Des Moines, but the armor layout is essentially the same. So you guys can see, the Des Moines class actually for their armor belt, they are covered, and also for their deck, they're all covered in 30 millimeters of armor. But for Tulsa, it's just all 27 millimeters. And this is basically how the Colorado, even though it was a tier 7, was doing so much damage to me. It was just because of this. Like it just shoots and everywhere it touch except for the Citadel armor, it just pans. So this is still one of the major downsides of the Tulsa, and well, I guess like they want to balance in terms of survivability of the Tulsa, like so they don't want it to be overpowered at tier 9. But I think the fact that they already removed they have six, they removed three guns from for the Tulsa compared to the Des Moines class already. I don't think they should have removed the 30 millimeter armor belt, because having this little armor is a very big problem. um like not even tier 9 and 10 matches. Like when you're under tiered, you still faces a lot of like 406, and when you get shot by them, it's just not an overall enjoyable experience. Like even though when you're perfectly angled, you're trying to use your belt, like sometimes like that's the case. Like if you have a 30 millimeter belt, you can do that, but you cannot do that in Tulsa. Like if you if you even try and use your back gun and just shoot and angle in, they just overmatches your armor belt. You can do that in like the Des Moines when you're facing 406. You cannot do that in the Tulsa. And I think that is one of the major problem with the Tulsa. Even though the guns are a lot better now, I can actually yeah, I can definitely feel it. The consistency is improved substantially. I think the survivability problems needs to be addressed. Like they already hammered the guns. Like the damage per minute of the Tulsa actually is yeah low. Like I mentioned earlier, it's lower than the Buffalo. I don't see the point why they should yeah also gut the Tulsa's survivability. And yeah, hopefully they will address it in the future. And if that's the case, then I think Tulsa would be made a very, very competitive ship. But for now, she's a very yeah, she has very good guns. But she essentially is a glass cannon. But yes, the buff really does help her in terms of consistency and feel. And in my opinion, um, it's good. It's a good purchase, but you will have to you have to accept for the fact that you can just randomly blow up even like even if you play really well, if you angle really well, it just doesn't matter when you're in a Tulsa and you're facing 4 or 6. You just have to accept that fact. And yeah, you have to. It's also very situational, but if you have a lot of islands, then I think playing Tulsa would be a lot more comfortable. But just imagine, man, like just imagine you get into a match where there's little islands and there's a bunch of tier 10s or tier 9s that overmatches you, then it's just a horrible experience. So in my opinion, it's a bit more worth it to purchase now as your co-ship, but yeah, hopefully in the future, Wargaming will buff her survivability in terms of the armor, not make it to 30 millimeters. I mean, 30 millimeters nowadays is already a bit lacking, but having it as a tier 9 would make her life and her players a lot better and easier. And yeah, that is pretty much it for the Tulsa overview after the buffs. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. And if you guys are interested in some of my other videos, I have created a video about some about G9 and also the Trump. You guys can check it out. And thank you for your support. See you in the next video. Bye.